Hello everyone, welcome to 3D Innovator. In this tutorial, I will guide you through the process of drawing 3D model of feed rod bearing using SolidWorks 2023. If you want to know definitions and use of feed rod bearing, you can simply look at these points. And this is a great exercise to improve your 3D modeling skills. And by the end of this tutorial, you will have a fully detailed feed rod bearing ready for using any mechanical assembly. So let's get started. So first, let's begin by creating the base shape of the bearing. So base shape of the bearing is this one. So we will start with a triangular base structure. So for that, select sketch, use line tool, front plane. So first we will create a triangle. Triangle is complete. And to complete the base, we will also add the rounded edge with a fillet of 19 mm. You can also see here radius on the top. The both top we will add 19 mm radius fillet, and the fillet round off the sharp edges for a smoother design. So now you can select these two lines and select sketch fillet in the radius of 19 mm. 19 mm. So click OK. Select again these two lines, radius of 19 mm. So at the bottom edge of the triangle, so we have, you can see the cylindrical diameter is 48 mm. That means the radius should be 24 and the fillet should be 24 mm. So this line, select these two lines and the fillet should be 24 mm. Select OK. So this point and the center of this line should be vertical. Let's add some dimensions. So click Smart Dimensions. So you can see, so center of this arc and center of this arc, the distance is 60 mm. So click here, the distance is 60 mm given, and the center of the bottom edge arc and center of right edge arc, the distance is 30 mm given, and the distance between these two points is 64 mm given. Okay, click OK. Now we will add three circles, this one, and this one. Two circles will go at the top of the triangle, as you can see also in the sketch. The third circle will be at the bottom of the triangle, which represents the feed rod, and this will have a diameter of 48 mm. So here we have 25 mm diameter, here we have 48 mm diameter. So to draw the circle, so we select sketch, circle tool. So here we sketch two circles, and here we sketch one circle. Okay, so now we have to add dimension. For that, yeah, we already know how to add dimensions to the sketch. So select start dimension. So before that, let's add some relations. This circle and this circle should be equal. Okay, now we can add dimension. So this circle diameter is 25 mm given, and this circle diameter is 48 mm. Click OK. Now that our sketch is complete, let's extrude the entire sketch. We will use extrude boss tool to give the model thickness. So here in the sketch we can see the thickness of this section is 13 mm, and thickness of the circle is 16 mm, and thickness of the big circle at the bottom is 48 mm. So click feature, extruded boss surface. So first click only this section. You can see the thickness of this section is 13 mm given, 13 mm. Click OK. Again click extrude boss. Now we have to select the same sketch. For that, click here and sketch. So clear the selected counters. So now here we can select these two circles, 1, 2, and these two circles have thickness of 16 mm. 16 mm. Click OK. For the big circle, we will do the same way. So extruded boss, click sketch. So delete the selected contours and select the big circle. So the big circle, we have thickness of 48 mm. So enter 48 mm here. Click OK. So now let's add the rib. So this is the rib of our sketch that connects the top section of the feed rod. And there are different ways to create the rib. We can create the rib using the rib tool. You can see here. So for using rib tool, we need a reference plane here. So to create the reference plane, we need axis of this cylinder. So how to create axis, I will show you. For that, click features, reference geometry, click axis, and click this cylinder. So here you can see the axis of the cylinder. Click OK. Now we will create one plane here. So to create the plane, reference plane, the same way we will do the same way. Click features, reference geometry, click plane. So here we need in this direction plane to create the rib. So first reference will be axis, second reference will be this plane. Now you click OK. Now you can see our plane is created. So now sketch a line on reference plane and try to use it as a guide for the rib. So for that, select sketch, line tool. So our rib is like this. Now click features and rib. So our rib thickness is 11 mm given, and the direction should be always down. Click OK. So now here you will see it led to the error. So because due to the curvature, it is not easy to use the rib tool directly. If the rib is below the curvature, this curvature, then it is easy to use the rib tool. I will show you here. Sketch, you can come out of this sketch and again select edit sketch. So there is coincidence delete all here. So if the rib is given like this, we can easily make the rib, but in the but in this point at curvature, it is very difficult to create the rib using the rib tool. So let's create the rib like this. Click OK and click feature, rib 11 mm. Okay. So now you can see we can use the rib tool if the given rib is below the curvature. This is not the correct way to create the rib. I will show you the next. I'll show you the next process how to create a rib here. So we will delete this. So let's edit the rib again. So let's edit the sketch. So if we want to draw a rib at this point, you will see the error here. So therefore at the curvature, it is not good way to create the rib. So I'll show you next method how to create the rib. So for that we don't need any axis, we don't need any plane, and we don't need the rib tool here. Therefore we will delete these three first. Delete the axis. So in second way, we can draw the rectangle in this surface. So draw the rectangle in this surface, and here you can see we don't need this part. we can trim this part. Coincidence. And using convert entities, we can select this one. If the convert entity, if we select the convert entity, we don't need to draw the arc here, so it will convert directly from this curvature. So we don't need this one, and this one also, trim it. Okay, now add dimension. The dimension is 11 mm, and this line should be at midpoint of this line, so we need to add some relation here. This line and this line should be midpoint. Okay, so now select feature, extrude boss. So we will extrude downstairs. So select up to surface until this surface. Okay. Now we don't. We will remove this part because we don't need this part here. And to remove this part, we perform extrude cut tool. So for that, select sketch, line tool. So from here to here, so this part we don't need. Select OK. Go to features and extrude cut. Extrude cut, yeah. So up to surface, up to this surface, we want to remove this part. Select OK. And here you can see it doesn't perfectly follow the geometry. So here we have curvature and here we have line. So this is also not a good way to make a rib. So we will try the best and most accurate way to create the rib by using the loft burst method. For that, first we will delete this extrude cut. Okay. Delete this sketch. Okay. And delete extrude burst, this one also, and sketch also. So we will make a rib in most accurate way. To do this, first sketch the rectangle on the top plane of the circle. On the top plane of the circle, we will create a rectangle. Select convert entities. Select this. Click OK. So now we can trim unnecessary sketch. This one, and this one. Click OK. So this line and this line should be collinear. Okay. Now next we need to split the projection of this rectangle across two faces. Before that, we add dimension. So this is 11 mm, and midpoint of this should be midpoint. Click OK. So we don't need this one also. Click OK. So we need to split the projection of this rectangle across two faces. I will show you how. So this rectangle we need to project on this face and this face. So for that, we click features, click curves. Here you can see split line and projection. The selection is our current sketch, and we want to project on this plane and this plane. Let's click to plane and click OK. You can see here our rectangle is split it on two faces. Now we can use the loft burst tool to create the rib. The loft burst smoothly connects geometry between two surfaces. So click features. Here you can see lofted boss or base. Click this one. So profiles, which profiles we want to connect. So we want to connect this one and this one. So you can see the green dots here. make sure that the green dot should be in the same line. This one should be here. Click OK. Now you can see here we don't have any geometrical error, and this is the perfect way to create the rib when cylindrical face are given. So you can see on the surface we forgot to add a hole. So now let's add a hole to the extruded feature section. Here we can use directly the hole tool, or simply we can sketch circles, and using extrude cut we can make a hole. So now select sketch, circle tool, select this face. So here we will make a circle, here also one circle, and here also one circle. Select. Now add dimensions. So before adding dimensions, we will give a relation. These circles are equal. Okay, now we can add dimension. So dimension of 11 diameter. Okay, select OK, and this circle, the dimension is 28.58. 28. You can also enter value here, 28.58. Select OK. So now we use extrude cut, and here you can select the counters. So we want to make a hole here, here, and here. So select these three circles, and the total depth is 48 mm. So we can simply select the blind and the thickness of 48 mm. Click OK. So now we have a perfect feature bearing. If you want to add a fillet at the corners, you can easily add. So the fillet is radius is 3 mm given. So for that, select features, fillet, and click. You can also click this as where do you want to fillet. You can click the. I'll make edges here or here. A radius of 2 mm. So we want to make a fillet here, radius of 2 mm, and here. Click OK. If you want to add a fillet to these edges, you can select the edge and give the radius of 3 mm, not 2, radius of 3 mm. Okay. So that's it for today's tutorial. I hope this video helped you understand how to create 3D model of feed-rod bearing with the correct method. If you found this useful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to 3D Innovator for more tutorials like this. Feel free to leave any questions or suggestions for future video in comments below. Thanks for watching. I will see you next time. Happy modeling.